Here we go. Here we go. Just getting set up now. Um, all right. So if you're a business owner, business leader, and you have a team, you are scaling your business, then you should stay and listen to this. You're probably struggling with inconsistency. That's a big deal. And today, nothing kills business. Nothing kills business more than inconsistency. Sometimes the service is great. It depends on who is working. It depends on the location. It depends on other factors that you as a company cannot control. And as a business leader, business owner, a scaling business for that matter, this is very, very common with scaling businesses, especially you begin to become more successful and you want to bring the same level of service and the experience into your business and how you do things. Things are not the same anymore because you are growing so fast, so quickly that you cannot keep up the same things that you used to do before. And that can be a challenge. But the reason why there's a lack of consistency in most organizations, especially scaling ones, is because there are no systems, there are no structures. There are no systems and there are no structures. What they have is rather styles. They have styles. Hear me out. They have styles because the company has not clearly defined what great looks like. So if you have not defined what great looks like, there's absolutely no way your team can deliver that. And if they don't know what it is, you have a style because I have a flavor and my other team member has a flavor as well. So if as a company you don't have an identity, if you have clearly not defined what your identity should be, and you have not standardized that, systematized that, and created systems around that, it's extremely difficult for you to ensure that you can deliver that level of consistency every single time. And that's a problem. Most companies don't do this. They don't do the homework. They don't do the homework and thinking through what a customer is going to need, what a customer needs. And so for a scaling business, when you grow so quickly, so fast, it's hard for you to keep up because now what you could do with 10 people, now you need like 1,500, whatever that looks like in your world. And that becomes a challenge. That becomes a problem because you cannot have the same level of attention. You don't have the time, the bandwidth to keep up with every customer. So ultimately you as the leader or the business owner, you've become the system. Like you become the system by default because when you were smaller, you could easily catch up, you could easily call a customer, you could easily handle those customer challenges and complaints that come in. But as you grow, it becomes impossible. You can't do it all. And that's why most companies struggle as they grow. The service and the experience they used to deliver is no longer the same. It's because they have clearly not done their homework. They have not defined what great service looks like. Like in your team, in your company, in your culture, what does that look like? Like when you say you deliver great service, great experience, what does that mean? Like what is it? What is it? You have to define what it is. And not only that, once you have defined it, is this something that your team can clearly define? Can your team tell me what your service is like as an organization, your identity, what it is? Because when you look at other world-class brands that you love to do business with, I mean, I don't know, but you probably have a business that comes to mind as you're thinking through this. Like, what business do I love to do business with and why? Like, what business, like what company or institutions you love to do business with and why? And if you can answer this question, there's going to be a reason why you do that. And then like ask yourself, like, can my company, can my organization do the same? Like, can they do the same? And if your organization cannot do the same, if like your team or your organization cannot articulate clearly what you define as great service or as excellent, whatever that looks like, world class, whatever that means in your world, if you and your team cannot clearly articulate that, then you have a problem because you don't know what great looks like. And that's why you end up having styles. Because if you are just telling employees, oh, be nice, just take care of the customer, that's a common one that I hear. Like, just take care of the customer. Like, what does that mean? That is vague because to one person, it's smiling, saying thank you or saying you are welcome or greeting someone when they walk in. Like, there are so many interpretations to what it means to take care of the customer or be nice to the customer, or we take great care of our customers, or customers are number one. We care about the customer. Those are great, but those are aspirational statements, and it's vague. Like it's not clearly defined. And so, if you have not defined what great looks like, it's difficult, extremely difficult, for you to go on and articulate that to your team, so they can even remember and embody that. Okay, so do that exercise. But then you have to ask yourself, okay, now that we have defined what we are, what we want to become, how we want to define ourselves when it comes to service or the experience, how do we want to do that? It's not just about the what, but it's also how are you going to do it? Because, like in the example we are using, like if we are talking about, well, we love great service or we are XYZ when it comes to service, that's the what. But then how do you do it? Like, what are the actions, the behaviors that needs to happen every single time? You have to have clear, defined behaviors within your organization. And if you don't have those behaviors attached to the identity you want within your organization, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to deliver consistency when it comes to customer service and customer experience. And that's the secret. If you want to deliver great service and great experience, you have to first define what great looks like. Don't create styles, create structures and systems, because styles are going to be your downfall. If I have a style, if I have a way of taking care of the customer, it doesn't guarantee that you have the same style or you are going to keep up with the same style. That's the problem. So instead of having styles within your organization, make sure you have structures and systems in place, because consistency is not a people problem. It's not a people problem. It's a system problem. Any problem in customer service is a system problem. Yes, we know you want to hire the best, you want great people, but oftentimes any world class brand out there is not because they have excellent people, or they just went out and found the people who are just great at service. No, even great people will suffer in a bad system. Great people will suffer in a bad system. So if you're struggling with inconsistency, you are struggling with customer service right now, it's not because of your people. It's not because your people don't care or they are not good enough. And if I only had the right people, all this will be solved. I can do it. Why can't they do it? Why can't they care enough like I do? Customer service is common sense. It's just not going to, like, that's not how it is. It's not a people problem, it's a system problem. And if you don't create the structures, if you don't create the systems will be created for you, and you don't want to have that. And that's why most organizations struggle when it comes to great customer service and great customer experience. You go there today and it's great, it's fantastic, and it's like, wow, I loved that experience. But then you go there tomorrow or next week, next month, and it's not the same. You can't even recognize the business. That is an issue. That is a problem. And so, if you are struggling with inconsistency, know that you have to understand what you stand for in terms of who you are when it comes to the service and the experience. Define that identity. If you don't have an identity, it's going to be hard for you to stay consistent. Then you have to figure out how are you going to do it? What are the daily behaviors and actions that you expect from your team every single time? Then document that, make that a playbook, make that the standards and the structures that you need, because this is going to bring about consistency. Because when you bring someone new on board, and this is especially for scaling businesses, when you have clearly defined the what and the how in terms of the behaviors, and you are documenting this and creating a playbook, now you can maintain consistency as you grow, because the next location that you open, it's clear. Okay, this is who we are and this is how we do it. Boom, done. Next location or next growth or next level you get to, like, you have that playbook to keep up. The mistake most companies do is that they don't think about it. They think about it when it's too late, and the company and the employees have already developed certain behaviors that is too late to break, and too late to cut back on. And so that becomes the culture. And that is a system problem. It's not the people. It's just because as you grow, you did not create the right systems in place. And that makes it hard. That makes it difficult. If you're struggling with inconsistency, it's not your people. It's because you don't have systems, you don't have structures in place. If you do that, it's game over. It's game over. You have the confidence to consistently deliver wow experiences, wow service to your customers, and none of your competition can touch you because you have done your homework. So go and do your homework, define who you are, define your identity, and then think about what are the behaviors you expect your team to deliver every single time, to do every single time. And that's how you deliver consistency. All right. All right. I'll see you in the next one.